What's going on, guys, and welcome to my channel. CLFurlong here. We are all about running, lifestyle, and everything in between. And today I am giving you a rundown on how I've basically pulled up financially for my reselling business for March 2021. We're going to be touching on a number of different things today. We'll touch on a bit of an overview to give you guys a glimpse of some of the numbers. We're touching on the top 5 items sold, which some of that you've probably actually already seen because they were probably the top items in a lot of in the previous weeks. But at the same time, I'm going to be sharing, some of the cool items that I just found interesting, some items that I'll never be touching again, and also, diving a little bit deeper into some of the stats and a chance for you to probably have a look. And then if you do have questions, to ask any questions, but you'll have to put them in the comments, of course. So if you are new here, I started doing this reselling, on a bit more. I'm not really actually full-time. It is my primary source of income at this point in time. However, I am really only spending about 2 days on it a week, maybe 3 days max. But I started doing this since January the 11th of 2021. So this is month number 3, or 90 days in essentially, and this is all the numbers that I have for you. So let's get into it. And what's also exciting, it's a record-breaking month. And I'm so excited to have you here and to be able to share it. So let's just not waste any more time. Let's get into it. Alright, so you can see on screen, March 2021 has come out as my biggest, my best, and strongest month yet, which I guess I was expecting this to happen, and we have finally done it. We continue to progress each month, but let's jump into the numbers, right? So we've had a total of 76 items sold. Total cost of items was $791, which from an average perspective worked out to be about 92% higher than last time. So last time we were averaging around the $5. Now, there's a few reasons for that, because I have been paying up for some items to sell to make a lot more money as well, and they will be in the top items. So you'll see that shortly. In terms of revenue, we've done $3,233. From an average perspective, we are up by 10%. So that's nice to know. Total fees and postage combined together, we have done $1,000.50 in fees and postage. Now, this has actually come down on an average perspective, and we'll get into some of those stats shortly, but it's come down, so that's a positive. But the total profit for this month is $1,384, which ain't too bad. That really ain't too bad. I'm quite happy with this. Of course, the more would be better, but to be 3 months in and knowing that at the end of the month I can be averaging around this number potentially, assuming things keep going as good as they are, it's not a bad number to be playing with. So definitely something which I'm thinking about, and how I can continue to keep this number as a baseline and get to that next level in the next round. But let's jump on to the next slide, and what's next shows you a bit more on basically how I've been running over the past couple of months. Now you can see January, you can see February, and you can see March, and I'm going to walk you through this. So in terms of, since we started in Jan, things were low. It was the chance for me to really test things out. So costs were down. Sales were still, $1,300 in sales. Postage was way down. But back in January, we had a lot less items, but the numbers really show this. So in terms of February, which was then, a step up, we had more item costs. We had some bigger sales. We had higher postage paid, on average $10, and that was when I was just getting used to using the Australia Post business account. So February was a month to basically learn from January and adapt and make it better, and that's what I've done in March as well. As you can see here, item costs are higher, but that's because I've had to pay up for some items to get more profits. So in terms of sales, our average sales price is higher than February, and our postage paid, we have come down as well. And this is what I want to see, because I need to start to remove some of those costs so I can start to see, well, what's my take home pay going to be. And fees, once again, still a little bit higher, but it's also expected because I did do more items and some more heavy priced items, so fees will be a little higher as well. From a net profit perspective, we are still averaging around the same, about $18. I would like that to be a bit higher, but hey, something to work on for next time. Hey, margins are a bit low as well, only 43%. So let's go for the top 5 sold items for this month. Now, some of this you might have seen in my weekly sold videos, but number 1 is these Zoid DVDs. I was able to pick these up for $50, and I sold them just shy of $200. So there was a nice profit of $111. Item number 2 is the Pokemon ones, which actually were just in my previous video as well, and paid $20 for these, and was able to sell for $135 with a profit of $78. Item number 3, now this one being on Facebook Marketplace, I saved in fees, so I was able to buy this for $299, flip it for $350, and get $51 cash. Number 4, this one was the complete collection of the Eagle, A Crime Odyssey. Paid $7 for this, sold it for just shy of $70. It's a profit of $44.59. Once again, this one was on eBay, so the fees and postage costs were there. And item number 5, which this one I was quite pleased with. So it's a series called The Last 13. Now I paid $46 for this, so I really did pay up, but I was able to sell it for just shy of $120. That's $44 profit. Now I think I only had this one up listed for a couple of days, maybe 4 or 5 days max, and it sold pretty quick. So it's always nice to be able to buy something and know that it's going to turn over quickly, because now whenever I see this again, I can just get it and know I'm going to get the money for it. So let's quickly just jump into some of the cool items that I've touched on for this month. And I think the first one that's kind of been pretty cool, and it's not just these ones, I did a few others as well, it's just selling blank cassette tapes. Like, these things do all right, you know. Now this bundle here, I think I ended up doing for around $36 or $40. I can't remember specifically, but what I wanted to really highlight here is it's just a cool item that, you know, sometimes we take these kind of old items for granted. So if you do see them sealed and you can get them for 50 cents, $1, it's well worth it. This one has a story to it. So this was a mobile VFL footy photos album. Now this was in a big tub of free books that I received. Now I sat on this for about 7 or 8 weeks. So I think I picked this up in January. Maybe end of January, maybe it might have been February, but I sat on it for ages, didn't list it, and I finally did, and once I did, it sold up. Now, I ended up getting around $50 for this. Now, it didn't reach in terms of, you know, my highest profitability, because I had to postage. Now, there was photo cards in this as well, so I had to be very careful with postage, and at the end of the day, I didn't really care because I got it for free. So it's just a cool item to look out for. You know, sometimes you really don't know what you've got until you do the research. And then the third item, which I thought was quite cool, and I also got some nice feedback on this one. The person that purchased it, it was their childhood book. And I picked this one up. It was a first edition. Never seen it before. Did the research on the spot just because it looks so cool. And I was able to sell this for $49. And I think I only paid like $3 or $4 for it. But it's just nice to be able to, at the end of the day, what I'm doing is selling nostalgia right here, and, you know, being able to wrap that up and send it out, and knowing that it's going to someone that appreciates it, that really loves it, and, you know, there's a bit of a story there. That's really exciting to be able to do. 2 items that I'm never touching again, or maybe I just need to think about how I'm pricing things. So these items were great to sell. Like, they sold with no problem, you know, maybe after a bit of time. But the first one's the Elizabeth Arden sunglasses. Originally, these I thought I was going to get $50 for. Now, which would have been true, but I didn't realize that they were subscription glasses, meaning that, you know, depending on who you are, they're not always going to work for you. So that I didn't do my checking on. And when I got them home, I realized there was a bit of a warp in them, so they didn't sit as good. Now, it does say good condition on screen. However, I had put very clearly that they are in good condition. There is a bit of a warp, and they're not what everyone thinks is, you know, anyone can just pick up and use them. So, yeah, a bit frustrated there. And I think I ended up losing after postage because it wasn't easy to post because I had to make sure it was soft and secure. I think I lost about $2 on this. Now, the Thomas Harris Lot of 3 Hannibal Lecter series books. Now, I once again thought this was going to do all right. I ended up paying around $2, $2.50 per book on this. But for some reason, I thought I was going to fit them into my smaller box. And now to think about it, I probably could have actually got away with using a small satchel and just bubble wrapping them. But at the time, I hadn't gone through the process of really readjusting and fixing how I'm posting things. So I think for this one, postage ended up being around, I think it was around $10.50. And, you know, I've paid $3 each for these, let's say, you know, that's $9 and then $10. So I ended up coming out with only about $1 or something. It just wasn't worth my time afterwards. Now, I did actually have these listed at $26. So if I got the full price, it would have been worth it. But I mean, at the end of the day, I got my money back. So it's not a big issue, but you know, it's just not, these are some of the mistakes I've made this month in terms of they were old stock, like the Elizabeth Arden I had for a very long time, or I was just trying some things and I didn't crunch the numbers. So I'm the first one to say that you need to understand your numbers, and that's why it's important that before you're accepting offers, make sure you know what you've got, built into those margins. Otherwise, you'll suck yourself dry. All right, so let's just have a look at some of the wins and some of the losses and some of the takeaways and things that I'm thinking about for next month. So the wins, I had the intention to try and bring down costs, whether it was postage, whether it was fees. And the best way to do that was to get things on Facebook Marketplace. Now, I was able to do this. I sold 5 items on Facebook Marketplace out of the 76, which meant, if I had sold them on eBay, it would have been about a fee cost and postage of about $106. So this in itself has proven that I need to start doing this more and more. Now, I am struggling still to get the Facebook Marketplace sales, and it's something I need to spend a bit more time on, making sure I'm taking the right approach. And it's not just using Marketplace, but also getting into groups as well. So something I'm really considering and trying to push a lot more. However, it's a learning process. But, there's obviously some good results here. I unlocked my post band 3 on March 13th, which meant my cost of posts came down, which is very evident in my details as well. And I was able to bring down the costs and fees of postage, right? So the costs of fees and postage, and that was one of the priorities for this month. Now, from that, there's been some lessons also learned around items of opportunity. And I said this last time, is if you get stuff and you do not list it, it's lost opportunity. It's wasted time, because when you list it, if something's going to sit around for 10, 15 days, 20 days, 30 days anyway, it's better to be sitting around doing that while listed. Because if it's not listed and you've sat it around for 30 days, you then have to list it, it might sit around for another 30 days. So get on to listing. And just, I don't think I need to harp on this one too much, but that's something I've just noticed that, I need to be more mindful of it and just buckle down more. Now, there's been a big trend of a lot of people talking about are you doing international shipping? Now, I've had a few people reach out for this, but the costs were a bit too high for the item. However, I want to be a bit more intentful and offer it on certain items as a priority. And then other items I might open up to anyone. But I feel like there could be some missed opportunity here as well. Now, what's not listed here is another lesson for the month. And that comes down to, getting in quantity and quality at the right price. See, at the moment, I'm still really starting to get... I really am still getting that cheaper cost of goods kind of items, which is fine. But my average sales price is around that $40 mark. If we jump back and you can have a look, my average sales price is sitting at $42. Now, if my cost of goods is around $10 and I'm only getting a sale of $42, and then I have to have postage in there at $8, it's and then there's fees of $5, so that's $13, right? You're starting to add up, and it's eating into that really bad. So 3 things I'm trying to achieve is I need to sell more, I need to bring those costs down, and I want to bring that sales revenue up, right? So a few little, things that I need to be doing, but the best way that I think I can do this for this month and start to do it is being more intentful around where I'm sourcing from. I've had a few issues with getting some things cheaper in my area, and I'm going to have to start to branch out to some different op shops or thrift shops. But what I will start to do more is garage sales and markets and things like that. And I want to take that, I want to have that intention and take that action for April and see if I can, get some more of those bulk deals, $20 for a box of, like $20 for a box of DVDs, where I'm getting them at like 25 cents a pop or something, because that's when things will start to add up very, very quickly. The other lessons have been applying how I can do better postage. Now, with the postage ban jumping in, that's brought down my costs, but knowing how to wrap, pull things together and where to source those boxes or filler or bubble wrap from as cheap as possible, all those things have been a big part of this month, and I think will start to pay dividends for the coming months. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys around is items of focus. Now, I did do a live stream on this and I talked about it a little bit, but I can start to see where my, best areas are, whether it's, I'm not intentfully focusing on them, but it's just what the data is telling me. So at the moment, if you're looking at this sheet, we can see that 35% of my items sold are bringing in 40% of my profit. And that 35% is DVDs. That's where majority of it is. And then if we look at the next two big ones, we've got books, and then you've got video games, and then toys in terms of the percentage sold, and then also the profit that they're bringing in. So this really does tell me that those are the areas I should focus on, but it's a little diluted because the reason why I don't have better numbers for some of the other areas is because I haven't necessarily had those items to sell. So it would be interesting to see that as I get more of those items, whether it's the Lego, the clothes, and whatnot, will that start to make a difference? Because those are the areas where I don't know as much. Now, I do want to be able to walk into a store, know that I can pick something up and I don't have to do all the research because I save time. But these other areas are missed opportunities as well. So I am still starting to play around and just test out these different areas, especially with the clothes, around shirts and things like that, because I think that's where a lot of the opportunities, and I know so many people are selling $80+ shirts that they've picked up for $7, which is just unreal. So let's have a quick glimpse and compare back to Feb, how we've gone. So in terms of February, we had 71 items. March, we've done 76. So cost of goods are almost double. We're way up there, right? Fees are about the same roughly, which is okay because we've sold more items. And we're keeping around this. Well, actually, it is less, so that's even better. But not too much detail at this point. Sales, we're up 18%, and average sale is up by about 10%, and then profit, we're up overall 7% with an average PPI or profit per item around the same. So we haven't really changed too much, and you would have seen that on the screen as well, some of the breakdown. But it's interesting details to see. And now if we look at the 2021 running view, we can see that what started out in January with, we were doing sales of about 1,300. February, we've gone to 2.7. And then March, we've obviously come in with our biggest month of $3,233. There's a bunch of numbers here on screen. You can have a look. But this does start to tell a story. We are 90 days in. There is some very good data here that helps me drive my thinking, what I need to focus on, what I need to change. But at the same time, I think as I continuously learn, adjust, pivot, and make changes, I don't think we're going to really see what's changing, how it's happening until we get to about June, because that extra 3 months of data is going to be key to make this, looking at this to make even more sense. Because at the moment, averages are a little diluted just because January was a smaller month, because I started later and I didn't sell as much and all that jazz. But still, this helps me put things into perspective and it is keeping me honest. Alright, so that's that, folks. Now, if you still are here, I really do appreciate it. What we're going to do is we're going to jump over to the revenue challenge of $100,000 for this year. Now, this goal scares me so much. It really does, because I have a long way to go. Now, looking at this, I am day 85 into this year of when I started this challenge. From a milestone perspective, we are smashing things. We did the first milestone, we did the second one, we've now done the third one, and we're on track for the fifth one. But it's starting to get tougher, because what I originally did with all these milestones, as you can see, is they're a big jump. They're on average around 13% higher than each month before. And the reason for that is because it's forcing me to up my game. I need to be able to improve each month, or up my game, or add new variety, or do something, shake it up. So it is going to start to challenge me a lot, and this is obviously running total. So we're pretty good position actually. I think at the moment we're about 10 days behind schedule in total numbers, but hey, I'm going to work towards it. We have a big goal of $100,000 in revenue this month. It is early days. Then again, things are moving very, very quick. But I wanted to give you guys an update because I'm going to go for it. If I don't succeed, that's okay. But I want to succeed, and I'm going to do everything I can to succeed. But you're here along for the journey, to give me some feedback, keep me honest, and I want to share this with you because it's a lot of fun as well. So that is March 2021, and what a month. It has been my biggest month. I'm so excited, and I'm so, I guess, humbled and honored to have you guys here listening and following along for the journey. So really do appreciate all the support. There's a lot here to take away, and for me, there's things that are important to me when I look at my numbers, and for others, some people don't look at it that way, or other people look at different things. So if you've got thoughts, if you've got comments, you've got difference of opinions, do let me know in the comments. Love to hear from you. And It's been an exciting month. I'm excited to see what we can do in April, and I've got to do a lot in April, but it's exciting to see how far we can continue to grow this. So really do appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, do the whole shebang, and hustle. Ciao.